Day or Night Exotic CV. I'm Dilda Knight, and this is Ray, Fire Spider Female, one of my favorites in my collection, and one of the beautiful examples of what a fire and a spider combo can do. It's a very simple combo, but it's one of those combos I feel, in my opinion, that is just very, very beautiful if you get the right specimen. And I like so much about this snake, and I'll start with, first and foremost, what that fire gene does to the spider. Just a straight up spider. The spider gene is one of my favorites. It's one of the genes that got me into the hobby, got me looking into keeping snakes in general, because one of the first spiders I saw, I just kind of fell in love. It was, I believe it was a female, and you know, they get the beautiful high whites. It was an adult female, beautiful pattern on it, and you know, I just fell in love with spiders, and it was one of the first. I think my second ball python I ever owned was a spider. It's one of my favorites, and I actually sold my spider male to my best friend, and ever since then I've been eaten up by it, and actually just recently replaced that spider. It ate me up for so long. I think I've had them out of my collection for probably over a year now, and I've really missed having a spider, just a straight up spider gene in my collection, that actually replaced them with something that will be featured in another vid. I actually won them at an auction, but I won't talk about that particular animal here. Speaking of auctions, got this one at auction around December, Christmas 2015. I don't always do auctions, and if you haven't done one, I always feel like the times I really have pulled the trigger on them was when the auctions have displayed, 50, 60, 70 different ball pythons, and everybody's going after the really high-end ones, the rare ones, and the really base morph ones, or the 2-3 gene ones, you can get dirt cheap. I won't say what I got for this one, but it was a highway robbery. And I'm going to show two different sheds here. We're looking at the first shed. First shed meaning just shed number one that I'm featuring in here. It's not how many sheds you had. I just want to show the difference between sheds, how much she lightens up. And this is the first shed that I'm showing you in this vid. We'll get into the second shed in a moment. But as you can see, she has all the features that made me fall in love with this snake when I went ahead and pulled the trigger in the auction. Decided I was going to go ahead and bid on her. I love the head pattern. The pattern in general is very beautiful, and she just has a nice overall look to her that I like. And she is so light that really the camera and the lighting doesn't really do it justice, because she is almost white sometimes if you look at her, especially after she sheds. And this is shed number 2, and this was the most recent shed. This was about a month ago, and this is not doing it justice. She is so light, especially on her spine and on her sides, that she's literally almost a very light cream color. And that's when she straight just freshly sheds. And even when she starts to darken up, she still is very light. She is extremely impressive, and the darks on her are so dark, it makes that light look even lighter. And she just pops, literally just pops. And she is a massive beast of an eater. She eats like crazy. I have to slow her down sometimes. I mean, she'll just pound food, which is awesome, because she'll get up to size and absolutely no problem. The funny thing about this one, and why I wanted to show her with the Cinna, which I'll be showing you soon, and compare these two, is because I got them fairly close together, and they both were around the same size, and they both went on these weird fasts. When I first got them, they wouldn't eat for months. I mean, I think this one, it took me about 3 months before she took her first meal down, and she was relatively small, about 160 grams, I guess, when I first got her. About 100, actually, she was probably around 120, 130 grams. And this is the Cinna. Her name is Jackie Brown, and I got her maybe a couple months, 2 or 3 months at a reptile show after I got the fire spider. And I've always kind of looked at them as like kind of sister spiders in my collection, because I got them so close in a relatively short time span, and they're both relatively the same size, and they both have that beautiful spider gene represented. And they're both amazingly good eaters now, and they both went on these weird fasts at the same time. I wanted the cinnamon in my collection and the fire in my collection, and just to prove that I love spiders so much, I chose to go with those jeans and spiders. I just love the spider. You know, I add the queen bee that I have, and I have a queen bee male. And you know, my banana spider, I chose to go with the banana with the spider. So that is a theme that you'll see in my collection. Is that I like my spiders, and I like having my genes that I want represented in my spiders. That's just, you know, I'm a spider guy. I mean, obviously I'm a tarantula guy, so I'm in love with spiders to begin with. So it just kind of all rolls together. That's a coincidence, by the way, obviously. But both of these are, like I said, they're really good eaters, so they'll get up to size probably quicker than almost any other females in my collection outside of my Pastel, who I've had her a little bit longer, and she's a beast of an eater. So these two, like I said, relatively around the same size. This one, her colors are just so crazy. As she gets older, every time she sheds, she starts adding in just little hints of this yellowish green that she gets on her. And after this shed, this is a fresh shed. She had just shed out when I did this. Maybe when I say just shed out, maybe a few days. But she has some really weird patterns, and this is not color enhanced at all. This is the color on her. She has this really vividly weird yellowish greenish flames coming up on the sides of her, and it is so strange. I love it. I absolutely love it on her, and it pops, and every time she sheds, that coloration gets a little more vivid, and her high whites are starting to really creep up higher. She has very, very silver metallic eyes, and they're just piercing. They're just beautiful, beautiful eyes. I mean, she's just an amazing animal. And another thing I like about her is that you'll notice with certain ball pythons that their scales seem to be coarser or harder than other animals. Some animals are softer. They feel softer in your hand. This animal almost feels like it's, I don't want to say scaleless, but she is so soft. If you were to pick her up in your hand, she is so soft she almost doesn't even feel real. It's incredible. She's one of truly my favorites. That'll do it for this one, guys and girls. I'll see you next time. Take care and be safe.